5 beginner witchcraft tips, fire safety edition. First things first, you are going to want to get yourself a pair of tongs. Fireproof, fire safe tongs. These are really easy to get. You don't necessarily need to get some from like a witchcraft store or anything like that. You can get like cooking tongs, but these little ones that are really common at craft stores, I've never seen them go for more than $2 or $3. These are a lifesaver, especially if something is like actively on fire and you need to move it, or you're dealing with flammable substances. Get yourself a pair of these. You will want them. Next, if something is on fire and you need to put it out, and you have put any sort of oil on it, do not put water on it. Salt. You should have salt. This is a, first step staple. Most witches have salt in and around what they're working with, and you also probably have it in your kitchen. If you put water on an oil fire, it will burn bigger and it will spread. Put it out with salt. The salt will snuff it out. I also saw another content creator. If anyone remembers who it was, please tag her below because I can't remember who it was. But somebody else mentioned that sand would also work, especially if you're somebody who works with like ocean deities. That's a really good idea. But salt is my personal go-to. Next, fire safe candle holders, fire safe dishes. This is what you're looking for. This is like a metal material. This will be safe for your candle to burn all the way down on. You also will only really want to use something like this with like a chime candle. I really wouldn't recommend nothing much bigger than that, just because you're starting to play a little risky with candles much bigger than that on a plate this small. This is not safe to burn a candle all the way down on. In fact, I wouldn't use this for anything you are actively burning because it is glass. Glass gets hot, glass explodes. Trust me, you only need it to happen to you once to never use fire on glass ever again. I really wouldn't even recommend buying these unless you have a very specific thing you're using them for that is not candles. Next, if you have a candle like this one here, the little chime candles, and it is covered with herbs and wax, that is a fire hazard. I do know why this is very much picked up in popularity, and it's because it's pretty. And I really need you to hear me when I say that. It's not because that's how the spells need to be done. It's because it's pretty. That's what people like to look at. You don't need to oil up your candle, roll it in herbs, and then light it. That is a fire hazard. It works just as well, and it is much safer to have your herbs around your candle. And when something calls for oil on your candle, you only need 1 or 2 drops. Do not make your candle a fire hazard. Don't do it to yourself. Those overly dressed candles are only a thing because of social media. And finally, something that you may or may not know, but the reason cauldrons are made of cast iron is because they are fireproof, fire-safe dishes. So I would really recommend you pick yourself up. It doesn't need to be this big. I paid, let's see, how much was this? $65 for this one, and it came with a lid. So it is a really good fire-safe container, but they come in much smaller sizes than this. But a good cast iron cauldron can really be a lifesaver, especially when you're burning things like bay leaves and petitions, because it is completely fire safe. The cast iron is completely fire safe, and that's why most cauldrons are like that. And you want to have something like that, especially when you're burning things, because if it goes in here, it is safe. Good luck, and don't catch anything on fire. I think it's a rite of passage. We all end up doing it at least once, but try your best to keep yourself safe.